Lords. I rise to speak to the amendments in this group, particularly to Amendment number 12 standing in my name. But may I say that I have a very great deal of sympathy with the amendment just spoken to and moved by the noble Baroness Lady Pigeon. Both amendments are aiming at the same thing. I said earlier today, my Lords, that there were a number of things, crucial things, missing from this bill. One of them was the staff. We'll come to that. One of them was the passenger. We've dealt with that. And the third one is the local authorities, the regions, the metropolitan authorities, devolution as a whole. We have always had on this side of the House great aspirations for the powers of combined metropolitan authorities and regional government and for their expansion. We are largely responsible for promoting mayoralties in Manchester and West Midlands and establishing them, and in other places as well, Teesside and so forth. We have done that with a view to expanding their powers, and part of that was to take on a greater role in transport. We're seeing the beginning of that in Manchester with the buses, and we see, of course, Merseyside Rail is operated by the combined authority. In doing that, we're coming from a successful metropolitan model, which is London, which already has many of these powers. Now, as far as we can make out, these powers, as far as rail are to be concerned, not buses, but as far as rail is concerned, these powers are effectively now to be closed down where they do not already exist. They will not be further expanded. The Minister has been quite clear about doing that. They will not be expanded further, and we will not see the growth of rail on a metropolitan basis. My amendment number 12 is simpler than that advanced by the noble Baroness Lady Pigeon. It simply requires a preliminary report that outlines the proposed framework in which Great British Rail is going to communicate with local authorities and regional authorities about passenger railway services. That they are going to communicate is something that the government has committed itself to. It has said so in the Labour Party document, Getting Britain Moving. There is going to be a great deal of consultation, involvement, and so forth in every possible front. But again, we're told that we have to take all of this on trust, that none of this is going to become manifest until we see the great rail bill that's going to come in the future with a bit of consultation, but without seeing a proper text in advance for pre-legislative scrutiny. And we're trying to get it established now as a principle, at least, that this should be something that the government can initiate. It can initiate these communications before that bill comes into effect. It can set up structures that allow those communications to take place, and that is what this amendment requires the government effectively to do. So, my Lords, I very much hope that the Minister, if he can't agree to the precise amendment tabled by the noble Baroness Lady Pigeon, will at least be able to agree to my amendment, which asks him to get those structures, which he envisages happening, get those structures in place as soon as possible so that local authorities and the relevant regional authorities can be involved.
Yeah.